What if the abilities you take for granted are not accidents, but sacred gifts entrusted to you for a greater purpose? Welcome to Speaking from the Heart, a space where we explore faith, meaning, and everyday life through the gospel-centered and universal grounded lens. Hi, I'm Richard Fontanie, and today we're reflecting on a powerful and often overlooked truth. The gifts we have been given. That is, our talents, our skills, and the roles that we have. They are blessings from God meant to be recognized, nurtured, and shared. Now, before we go any further, I invite you to subscribe, follow, and share this podcast with someone who might be needing nourishment and encouragement for today. Your support helps this message reach hearts that are searching for meaning and hope. Permit me to recap our other podcasts. The essential ingredient is to integrate business, work, and everyday life. And this year, we're focusing on one theme per week. So each of our activities and podcasts follow that one theme. And this week, our focus is on a growth mindset. On Mondays, we speak from a spiritual, gospel, universal perspective, just like this one. And on Wednesdays, we explore the concept of leadership and personal development. And on Fridays, we discuss affiliate marketing from a digital point of view. So please join us on the day that best suits your interest. Now, I look forward to seeing you here, and thank you for joining us. Now, let's explore today's topic. The gifts to calling, recognizing talents as God's blessings. Now, the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus tells us the parable of the talents. A master entrusts resources to his servants, each according to their ability. When he returns, those who invested and grew what they were given are praised, while the one who hid his talent and hid his gift out of fear is gently and firmly corrected. Now, this story is not only about money. It is about responsibility, trust, and faithfulness. The psalmist echoes this truth when he writes, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Our gifts are woven into who we are. They are not random. They are expressions of divine intention. Yet, many of us struggle to recognize our gifts. Some minimize them, believing they are ordinary. Others compare themselves to those with more visible talents. And still others bury their gifts due to fear, disappointment, or past criticism. The gospel invites us to a different posture, a posture of gratitude. When we recognize our talents as blessings, gratitude replaces comparison. Responsibility replaces fear. And purpose replaces doubt. From a universal perspective, every culture values contribution. We are fulfilled not merely by what we consume, but what we can offer. When faith and universal values meet, we see that gifts flourish when they are shared in service to others. In business, recognizing gifts changes how we lead and serve. A manager who understands their gift for encouragement creates environments where people grow. An entrepreneur who recognizes their gift for problem solving build solutions that truly help others. In the workplace, talents are not limited to technical skills. What are some of the critical soft skills that we need today? Well, from my vantage point, they are listening, integrity, respect, creativity, responsibility, patience, and wisdom. Now, these are gifts desperately needed in a very fragmented world. When they are exercised with humility, our work becomes meaningful and not just productive. And that, my friends, is how we find purpose in what we do. In life, gifts appear in relationships. Some are gifted at bringing peace into tense situations. Others have the gift of presence, making people feel seen and valued. And still others have a gift of humor. Now, these gifts are no less sacred than our public ones. St. Paul reminds us in the New Testament that there are different gifts, but the same Spirit. Not everyone is called to the same role, but everyone is called to faithfulness. Growth is not about having more gifts, but about stewarding the ones that we have. Fear is often the greatest obstacle. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough. Scripture reminds us that perfect love casts out fear. When we trust the giver, we can trust the gift as well. A growth mindset rooted in faith understands that gifts can be developed. God does not call us to perfection, but he does call us to make some progress. Talents grow when we practice them with humility and perseverance. Consider someone who feels called to teach, but doubts their ability. Each step of preparation, learning, and practice becomes an act of faith. And over time, confidence grows, not because fear disappears, but because trust deepens. Now, the Psalms often reflect this journey. They speak honestly about doubt and struggle and hope. They remind us that God meets us in a process, not just in an outcomes. So how do we recognize and honor our gifts? Well, we begin with powerful reflection. We can ask where we feel most alive, most useful, most aligned with love and service. We can pay attention to what others affirm in us. And next, we can take small steps. Gifts are rarely revealed all at once. They unfold through action, service, and learning. And then offer your gifts generously. Gifts grow when they are shared. And when withheld, they wither and die. When offered with humility, they bless both the giver and the receiver. And finally, we can trust God, that spark of the divine that's within us. We can trust God with the results. Our role is faithfulness, not control. And control leads to anxiety, frustration, and even anger. The harvest belongs to someone greater than ourselves. Someone who speaks to us from within and guides us as we go about our business, our work, and our lives. Think of it this way. Sometimes when we work on a problem, someone else completes it. We are no longer in control of the results. And sometimes we may not even agree with the how, let alone with the results themselves. In life, we give way in faith to the divine within, to the one who is in control of all things, not in a predetermined way, but in a loving and living way. We hand over our thoughts, our feelings, and results to this loving spirit and trust in her as she knows all things, loves unconditionally, and guides us in life. Yes, including how we carry out our talents, our skills, and our roles in life. Now, as we close, I invite you to reflect. What gifts have you been given that you may be underusing or hiding? What fear might be holding you back? Where might God be inviting you to step forward and trust? Your invitation to action this week is gentle. Choose one gift that you recognize in yourself. Acknowledge it with gratitude. And then take one small step to use it in service with someone else. Remember, the gifts that you carry are not just for you. They are blessings meant to flow through you. They're like a river flowing through us to others. When we honor them, we honor the one who gave them. Now, thank you for listening, folks. May you walk forward with courage, gratitude, and faith, trusting that what you have been given is enough for today and will grow as you do tomorrow. Next week, our theme is self-limiting beliefs. And join me next Monday for another Speaking from the Heart episode. I'm Richard Fontanie, and we'll see you next week, if not before. Bye now.